How about this? This was a surprise to us. London's murder rate is now surpassing the murder rate in New York City. Our next guest says London's mayor should spend less time criticising Mr. Trump and more time fighting crime in London. Nigel Farage is with us, Fox News contributor. Nigel, as I understand it, this is a lot of stabbings. We have guns in New York, knives in London, and the knives win out. I don't mean to be facetious here, but what the devil's going on?
Well, I think we've got a breakdown of law and order in certain districts in London, and remarkably, this mayor of London has not visited a single one of the crime scenes. He has not met any of the bereaved families, and he's simply burying his head in the sand. Now, we had a policy a few years ago called Stop and Search, which meant that in the bad areas, the police could search people at will to see whether they were carrying knives, and if they were, they'd get strong sentences. The problem is that many of the areas in which this crime is happening are areas with very high immigration rates, and everyone's scared of the police and the authorities being called racist, so we've taken our foot off the pedal, and I would say that political correctness has directly led to the murder rate going up in London.
What has the mayor of London, Sadiq Khan, what has he had to say about this? He must have had some kind of public announcement.
He writes letters to Downing Street. He writes letters to the Prime Minister saying, can we please spend some more money on the police, rather than making sure and working with London's Metropolitan Police to make sure we are policing those bad districts, doing it properly. We bring back Stop and Search. And you know what? If people want to scream racist at the police officers' job is to bring the murder rate down, but they need direction from the Mayor of London. And frankly, through all of this, he's pretty much absent without leave.
I find that hard to explain. I don't know why he would do that. Generally speaking, the man is fairly popular in London. He was quite easily elected.
Yeah.
Do you think they will bring back Stop and Search?
I hope they do, but there is, as I say, this fear that if you were to stop, if in an area like Tottenham, for example, in London, which is where the shootings and stabbings have been taking place, it's one of the worst parts of London. Now, it happens to be an area with a big black population, and if this imagery was put out by the left of police officers stopping black people on the streets, that's what they're scared of. They're scared of being criticised for being thought to be racist rather than dealing with the crime itself. So I do hope the mayor actually does his job.
OK. Nigel, one more for you. Yeah. You and Mexico's former president Vicente Fox, you're touring the United States, talking about nationalism and globalism. How are you? I mean, I imagine that Vicente Fox is well received in many parts of America, but how about you?
Well, there are lots of students out there who seem to have far too many professors of a liberal disposition, very few professors of a conservative disposition. And you know something, sir? They've been told that Brexit and Trump, a return to nationalism, is somehow an awful, dangerous thing. And my job is to explain to them, through the boos and jeers you understand, but my job is to explain to them that nationalism, or nationism, as I call it, is the desire for people to live democratically in a country where the decisions are made by people they can elect, made by people they can get rid of, and I try to make them listen to the argument that immigration matters. That a country that gets this right, that makes sure that immigrants make a financial contribution, speak the language, integrate within society and obey the law, that is what we need. And I warn them that if you look at what Mrs. Merkel did in Germany, by just opening up the doors to countless numbers of people, she effectively has directly imported terrorism into Europe. Now, I know some people find these arguments tough to listen to, but actually there's been far too much safe spaces and banning of speakers from universities, so I'm enjoying the challenge.
Exactly. I was just going to say that. At least they let you speak. Yeah. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, I think this is really good. This is really healthy. We've done 2 debates already, 2 more to come. And, you know, I don't agree with Vicente Fox's globalist outlook, but the point is we're also showing these students that you can have debates on tough issues, but you can do it in a civilised and a grown-up way.
Well said, Nigel Farage. You're all right. Come and see us in New York next time you're here.
I certainly will.
I want to see you. Nigel, thank you very much, sir. Appreciate it. All right.